All right, a story that changed the lives of two anchors in the States.
Oh, it's changing
Let's go
their
four
lives.
wide. Frank, Steph, Faiza, and myself. This is good. All right, I promise. This is the last update on the GMA3 anchor soap opera between Amy Robach and TJ Holmes. Once again, for those who have forgotten, their names were still mentioned in the show open yesterday, but they were not on the show. They were pulled from the show, and this comes days after it was revealed both of these anchors on ABC, who were married, had had an affair for a long period of time. ABC News President Kim Godwin made the announcement during an editorial call yesterday morning, calling the situation, quote, internal and external distractions. Now, again, what you're seeing here is some of the video that was made of these two just living their lives, really, but it's gone super viral. And I want to show you the last time. We showed this to you yesterday. I want to do it one more time. This was Amy and TJ Holmes on Friday's show, GMA3. The level of awkward here was incredible. And there's a part of me that understands why they've been pulled from the show temporarily. Take a look.
Hey there, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to GMA3, What You Need to Know on this Friday. You know, it's too bad it's Friday.
Is it?
It's been a great week. Just want this one to keep going and going and going. Just enjoy it.
Speak for yourself.
Take it all in.
I am very excited about the weekend, and I'm sure everyone else is too. We all love our Fridays around here.
All right, Stephanie Henry, we've all been in this business a little bit. When you get pulled from a show, the tea leaves are kind of easy to read here, Steph. Where does it go with these two? And do you think they should lose their job for this? Because it might happen.
I think that maybe there's an investigation happening. We just don't know a lot. We don't know a lot. We don't know if other people may have been dated in the workspace and maybe have come forward to share their experiences dating maybe one of these anchors. So we don't know exactly all the details. I don't think that they should lose their jobs. I feel like they're two consenting adults. Like in this situation, I did read a lot about them being, in the midst of separations and all of this. It is messy. I will give it that. It's messy. But I feel like they're two consenting adults in the same position, same level, and that it's like they're none of our business. I feel like it's just, I don't think that they should lose their job over it.
Well, I agree with you. It's worth noting, though, ratings went up 20%.
Yeah.
This past week when this story came out. So, Faiza, based on that alone, I'm surprised they pulled the both of them.
Right, which leads me to think that there's something maybe happening internally. We were talking about it yesterday, I think the day before, that allegedly Robin Roberts had pulled them aside, or one of them at least, and talked to them about what was happening, basically saying that to cut it off and to cut it out here. So perhaps it was impacting the other employees in that building. As Steph just said, we don't have that information of what's happening internally. Should they lose their jobs? I don't think they should lose their jobs. I mean, TJ Holmes, I've followed his career since I was in school. He worked for CNN. He's an incredible journalist. And right now, instead of telling us the news, he made the news. And so that might be a little distracting for viewers, for the people they work with. But it's just an all-around messy situation that I don't even know if their bosses know how to handle this. How often do we hear of these stories coming out? We know that these relationships happen, but we don't really oftentimes have insight into what's going on. And it is a private matter, right? There has to be a line there where this is a private situation where families should be able to deal with it. But because they're public figures, all of us are involved and watching all of this right now.
Well, we all know how this should go, but when it's this public, Faiza, to your point, and over to Frankie, it's kind of the horses are out of the barn at this point.
Yeah, the question is, though, is what would be the cause? So in terms of labor law, what did they do to really allow that company to let that person go? Yes, there's two people that were in love, and there was maybe an affair that happened. But did it impact the show? That's the question. It is impacting the show now that it became public. But while it was happening, did it impact the show? And then now, how do you let them go? Because you may just have to be paying them out. You may have to buy them out of their contract.
Well, that's the thing. I'm sure there are lawyers trying to figure out what exactly did they do wrong here.
Yeah.
It's awkward, but as I said, the ratings went up. It's not, human resources, they got to be involved. I'm sure ABC aren't happy about this. I think one of the biggest issues personally is I don't think they did a good job of not letting this bleed into on air. Like, right. I saw TJ Holmes on the Wednesday Nikki, Wednesday the story broke. Nikki, Wednesday the story broke. Last Wednesday. He did not do a good job hiding this on air. It was actually rather uncomfortable. And that clip we just ran you from Friday was also a little uncomfortable. That's where I draw the line.
But did they do their job? So
They did their
They
job.
did their
They did their
job,
job,
but like
right?
you can't. You need to
But do you make
separate.
a- do you
I'm
make a-
sorry.
But do you make
You
a
need to
statement? Do you make a statement at that time?
I
and
think
say,
they should have addressed it.
This is a personal matter that we're
Yes.
going through right now.
Were they allowed
Please
to address it?
Were they
Yeah,
allowed to?
That's
We
the
don't
other
know.
part too, right?
I don't know. Maybe I'm alone. I didn't find it that I mean, I feel like they were just, everyone's talking about it. They're kind of addressing the elephant in the room without addressing the elephant in the room, and they're moving on. Like I didn't find it that awkward.
It is a private matter that's
Yep.
being dealt publicly.
Yeah,
That's the
and
issue.
also you got to think about their families too that are going through this too, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't just go on air with your partner now and like, hey, like let's talk about this. Like while their families are also still.
Well, I
dealing
mean,
with
but
it.
like, listen, bad decisions are bad decitions. Like, if you're two anchors on the same show and you want to make that call, might come up, might be public, might come out. Like, with respect, I'm sorry. Like, they're like two very intelligent individuals who knew exactly what they were getting into. And if this is going to get out, it is salacious. I'm sorry.
Maybe they should have
It
watched
is
the morning.
salacious.
Maybe they should have watched the morning show.
Maybe. Anyway, I don't think they should be fired for it. I'm kind of with the room here. I don't know, and ABC might be looking for cause. Maybe it's because they were embarrassed. I'm not sure.
And they have great chemistry together, so it would be such a shame.
Yes, they do.
I'm such a huge TJ. Well, on TV, you know what I meant.
Yes, they
but-
do.
Yeah.
So much chemistry. All right, so we wish them the best. And you're right, they're not new reporters. They're journalists. They've been doing this a long time.
Right.
Hopefully everything works out. But boy, was this something. All right,
Awkward.
awkward. We're going to